Welcome to NFL Snapwire. Let's get into it. Pittsburgh's 30-6 wildcard loss to the Houston Texans wasn't just another playoff defeat. It was a collapse that cracked open uncomfortable questions about the future of the Steelers, the security of Mike Tomlin, and whether Aaron Rodgers has finally reached the end of his legendary career. From the opening drive, nothing felt right. The offense sputtered, the rhythm never came, and despite the defense handing them opportunity after opportunity, the Steelers simply couldn't capitalize. Rodgers didn't try to sugarcoat it. "I don't know," he said when asked what went wrong. "I don't have a good answer for that." That honesty said everything. The Steelers' defense forced 3 turnovers from C.J. Stroud, rattling the young quarterback all night. Houston put the ball on the ground 5 times, lost 2 fumbles, and threw an interception. For 3 quarters, Pittsburgh was very much in the game. But the offense did almost nothing with those gifts. By the final drive, the message was unmistakable. Backup quarterback Mason Rudolph jogged onto the field, replacing Rodgers as the game slipped further out of reach. Not because of injury. Not because of strategy. Because the night, and maybe the era, was over. Rodgers' stat line told a brutal story. 17 completions on 33 attempts. Just 146 passing yards. No touchdowns. 1 interception. 4 sacks. 2 fumbles, 1 lost. The Steelers averaged only 4.4 yards per attempt, and the offense looked stuck in neutral from start to finish. Limited weapons, constant pressure, and zero momentum defined the night. Then came the moment that ended any lingering hope. With Houston clinging to a 10-6 lead in the fourth quarter, Will Anderson Jr. blew past protection and dropped Rodgers. Sheldon Rankin scooped up the loose ball and took it all the way to the end zone. Game over. Season over. And in that instant, the frustration that had been building all night boiled over. "I didn't feel like we ever got the momentum on our side," Rodgers admitted later. "We had a lot of chances. Defense played really well in the first half. But we had a lot of opportunities. That's what made the loss sting even more." Just 1 week earlier, the mood in Pittsburgh couldn't have been more different. Rodgers had thrown for a season-high 294 yards in a dramatic comeback win over the Ravens, clinching the Steelers' 8th AFC North title under Mike Tomlin. Acrisure Stadium was electric. The partnership felt validated. The doubts were quiet. Monday night flipped all of it. As the clock wound down, boos poured from the stands. Chants calling for Mike Tomlin's job echoed through the stadium, something almost unthinkable not long ago. And yet, even in the middle of disappointment, Rodgers refused to throw his head coach under the bus. "Tomlin has had more success than damn near anybody in the league for the last 19-20 years, Rodgers said. It was a show of respect, but it also sounded like distance. Like someone acknowledging history rather than committing to a future. And that's where the real uncertainty begins. After 21 seasons in the NFL, Aaron Rodgers is standing at a crossroads few players ever reach. At 42 years old, he became just the 4th quarterback since 1950 to start a playoff game at age 40 or older, joining Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Brett Favre. That's elite company. But elite history doesn't guarantee tomorrow. When asked directly about retirement, Rodgers didn't provide clarity. Instead, he left the door wide open. "I'm not going to make any emotional decisions," he said. "I'm disappointed, obviously. It was such a fun year. A lot of adversity, but a lot of fun. It's been a great year." Those words mattered. Fun year. Great year. Past tense. Rodgers talked about how much the season meant to him, how coming to Pittsburgh had been a positive chapter in his life. But he also acknowledged how painful it was to be sitting there with the season suddenly over. There was no defiance. No promise of revenge. No declaration of unfinished business. Meanwhile, the Steelers face questions that go far beyond Rodgers. There is no clear long-term answer at quarterback. Mason Rudolph and rookie Will Howard are internal options, but neither inspires full confidence as the future face of the franchise. Mike Tomlin, despite his remarkable consistency and playoff appearances, is once again under fire for another early postseason exit. And yet, Rodgers delivered results. He led Pittsburgh to a 10-7 record, guided them to a division title, and completed nearly 66% of his passes for 3,322 yards, 24 touchdowns, and just 7 interceptions, adding a rushing score along the way. By most standards, that's a successful season, especially at 42. But legacies aren't built on stats alone. They're shaped by moments. And this one, under the harsh glare of a playoff blowout, may end up being remembered as the quiet closing scene of a legendary career. Whether Aaron Rodgers decides to return or walk away, one thing is clear: his legacy is far bigger than one night in Houston, one frustrating loss, or one unanswered question. The only mystery left is whether we've just watched his final snap. That's the story for now, but in the NFL, nothing stays quiet for long. Thanks for watching NFL Snapwire. If you want the latest breakdowns, reactions, and real talk from around the league, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay locked in. We'll see you next time.